in Texas, and this is what I said earlier this week, I said that the Biden administration gave the power grid control and operation in part over to Chinese companies, which we all thought was weird. Then you see that Texas has these major storms, and that before, during, and now after the storms, they're without power. Okay, so I made the accusation, I suppose, that it was because we gave that control to China. Now we see it's actually a little bit more simple than that, and I don't think that they're not related, but it just adds another layer to the conspiracy that I'm alleging here for sure. So the Department of Energy has a statement on what is happening in Texas right now. It outlines the electrical energy shortage. It discusses why there is a shortage, and it talks about the fact that they have a request for emergency order under Section 202 of the Federal Power Act to, quote, preserve the reliability of bulk electrical power systems. So that is a request of the DOE. That is from the Energy Reliability Council of Texas. That's ERCOT. And you saw Elon Musk's tweet saying the R there, kind of important, because it's not been reliable. So they're asking, why isn't it been reliable? This kind of explains. We're in the beginning stages of an unprecedented cold weather event brought on by rare southward excursions. Okay, blah, blah, blah. The weather event is expected to result in record winter electricity demand that will exceed even our most extreme seasonal load forecasts. Okay, so they're saying for everything they would have predicted in a normal year, this is a 1 in 100 year storm that Texas is having. So they're all on electrical energy, and that is the problem because they don't have enough to go around, they say. So then they have the governor here, Greg Abbott. He says, declaring the state of emergency, we're now going to essentially authorize all of the overgeneration of electricity before and during the storm. So the shortage that would have been foreseen in a storm where everyone all of a sudden flips their electrical on. Every system is now going to be run by the backup and they don't have enough to run it all. So they say, hey, what we want is to just regenerate and overgenerate all of the power that we will need and have it on hand in bulk. That was the request. Page 2 is the department's response. And I'm just going to highlight this piece because this is kind of all we need to know right here. They say, because the additional generation may result in a conflict with environmental standards and requirements, I am only going to authorize the necessary additional generation with reporting requirements as I described below. So you have some EPA jag telling you, hey, the reason you will have people die because they starved, because they froze, because they were without electrical power. The reason that they will have loss of life, loss of livestock, loss of other cattle, loss of property. You'll have people become sick. You'll have people who needed their fridge to run to keep their insulin at a certain temperature. Now that the fridge has been out for a number of hours, they are stuck between putting the insulin outside and bringing it in. And either way, that's not safe. They end up dying. There are real life consequences for what happens when you cut the power off to an entire state and then pockets of the state don't get power back for now 5 days. Is it? There are real life consequences. But they say, well, we don't care about that. That's what they're saying. They say, well, it may result in a conflict with environmental standards. So, die. That's what they think of you, Texas. You couldn't be stolen. You said no to Dominion. And so they are now saying, no, you will not be able to provide your own electrical energy during an emergency. That's where we are here. That is what this says. You can read it, and I'll link the document below in the description. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like the video, share the video, share this with someone that you know, because clearly people need to be aware. It's not that Texas doesn't have the power. They've got the power. They're not allowed to use it. The federal government said, no, shut it down. Share this, and then subscribe to this channel. Hit the notification bell. Go to BitChute and Odyssey and Rumble and Gab and find America Floats and hit subscribe and follow and like, and do that because we're all dying to keep America afloat.